should have got some other people in here.
What's that?
You're gonna cut this out, right? Should I put headphones on?
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you talk into
Okay.
the end of it, okay?
I'll try.
All right. Hi, I'm John Looney. I am running for House District 81. I'm a candidate here in Lewis Clark County. We're at the fair again. We're broadcasting live from the Red Quill booth. It was all the furniture and all the accoutrements donated by New Vision downtown. Stop by and see them and thank them for giving us all this furniture to use. With me tonight is a special guest who is very nervous, so we're going to take it easy on her.
Thank you.
This is Erin, my sister-in-law, who lives up in Augusta.
Yep.
Why are you down at the fair today?
We are supporting the 4-H kids. Oops, sorry. We're supporting the 4-H kids in Augusta and Lewis and Clark County all around.
So, were you a 4-H kid when you were little?
I was. Yep.
And what did you show?
I showed horses. I showed sheep. I showed rabbits. I did some other stuff, sewing and yeah.
So, when you come down now and you see the 4-H kids auctioning, and we just went to the indoor auction, how important is it to support these kids, and why is the fair the place that, I don't think people understand that the fair is for the 4-H kids. That's they're working towards that all year long.
It is. They work really hard. As a kid growing up in it, I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort on my animals, on my projects. I think it's really important for community in general. It was a huge part of my life, and watching these kids work so hard on their projects and on their animals, and they're learning so many things about business and about agriculture and about Montana life in general. I think it's a huge thing to support the kids.
So when we talk about 4-H kids, explain a typical project. So somebody that's never done 4-H before, a typical like an animal project. Explain what does a kid have to do from start to finish for an animal project to get to the fair?
For example, growing up, you purchase your own animal to an extent. Sometimes their parents will help them out, purchasing it, but they have to learn what it costs to feed, what it costs to take care of, medications, working with the animals. It's a big deal, and you're learning cost versus income, and so you kind of learn the economy in general.
So it's not just taking care of an animal.
Not at all. They make money on the animal, but they also have to pay for everything that they do. So what it costs to feed that animal, what it costs to make the farm run, what it costs, even in projects, you're buying your materials, you're buying your paints or whatever you're doing, you're cooking, you have to make the stuff. It's a lot of work. It's an effort.
And when you get judged, so they come and they do the judging,
yep,
and then they do the auction. So judging, did you do beef? Is that what you said you did?
No, I had horses. I had market lambs.
Market lambs. So market lamb judging.
Yep.
I love watching the pig judging because
it's all
those are fun.
It's quite amazing.
It's not just they're not just looking at the animal.
No. They're watching they do a showmanship. They watch how you interact with the animal, how you present the animal. They're looking at every aspect of that.
And your records book and
yes,
your project book.
And it's just so, I don't know how to explain how much work goes into it. And I think as a kid, that's a huge thing because so many kids don't get that opportunity either to learn what goes into raising an animal, raising a market animal. Again, there's other projects obviously than animals, but you put a lot of effort into it, and the reward. And people also think that you don't, I think as far as ranching goes, you don't think in farming that they don't care about the animal, they don't care about what they're doing with it. There's hundreds of beef, and they're just selling them.
So we were just talking about some of the sales that we watched here and up in Choteau in Augusta. How the kids, they're raising one animal, they're taking care of that animal. It becomes it's a full-time
It's
project, and then they have to separate with that animal after they show it, they win their ribbons, and
Yeah.
everything's done, and then they're selling it, and they know that their animal's going to slaughter.
right.
And so that's something that some of them have a hard time coming to grips with.
I cried with every one of them. And honestly, my ranch friends still would have 500 cows cry when they lose an animal. I don't know that they cry when they sell a bunch of them, as far as, it's a business, but they care about their animals more than most people. And these 4-H kids, they work every day and night, to keep these animals alive, to make sure that they're healthy, to get them to market value, and they want to raise a good market product, and so they're learning a lot of value in the economy and value in, like you said. I mean, they work every day. They have to get up they're learning responsibility too. These kids work really hard, so they have responsibility every morning. They get up and they feed them and they walk them and they condition them and they make sure they're healthy and fed. And
so let's talk about how fun the auctions are.
they are very fun. And it's hard to come to an auction and watch these kids work so hard on something and have a crowd that doesn't show up for them or doesn't support them. And every one of them works hard.
Every one of them works hard, so every one of them deserves a chance to walk the stage and try and sell their product.
Yes.
So, because I saw Erin bidding on some stuff, I outbid her. I don't know if I won the last one.
I don't know if you did or not.
But the fun part is seeing who's bidding and making sure those kids get the value, not just for the project that they're presenting, but for the work that you know that they put into it. So that's why 4-H, when you watch a 4-H auction, it's not just a bid on a whatever it is. Like this is
amazing.
This is my buffalo picture that I bid on. And it doesn't matter how much you bid on it. It's look how much work that kid had to put into this and turn it into a project, get it judged, and then have the guts to stand up on a stage and let an auctioneer auction it off for them.
And they're learning a trade. They're learning an art. They're learning. There's so much education in what they're doing in every project, in art, in animals, in baking, in they're things that matter, and they work really hard on it.
They do. What do you do up in Augusta?
We're commercial beekeepers.
Now, that's a rare thing to
It's very,
find somebody that's a commercial beekeeper.
And I'm learning about it.
You're learning?
It's actually, again, one of the things I didn't even realize it was a thing.
Relax.
Oops, sorry.
There you go.
I didn't realize it was a thing until I re-met Greg, and the same thing. I think that education on some of this stuff is pretty important.
So, I don't think I've seen a 4-H kid do an apiary or bees or.
That's actually something, I don't know if they do it. I've never seen it before. It's something I think would actually be pretty. I don't know how you do it in a fair standpoint unless you do the observation hives.
Well, I don't know that you could bring a full hive of bees.
No, but an
the fair.
observation hive you could bring in. So we're working on maybe we can get some 4-H kids to bring in an observation hive if we can get 4-H to look into it, because it's also a ranching.
Well, it's an
agricultural thing.
I don't think people understand how important bees are to agriculture, to farming.
No.
I know my brother takes bees down to California, and so it's not just a local. I mean, we have local beekeepers, local honey.
Yep.
But in the wintertime, there's not a lot of crops, and it's not real safe for bees in northern Montana for the winter. So a lot of our bees either go to California, Florida. They go do almond orchards and pollination in the orchards, or they get stored.
Yep.
So have you learned about bee storage?
A little bit, yes, and it keeps them, I guess, healthy and kind of protects them for a couple of months in the wintertime.
Put them to sleep and put them in a low,
they still
low
work.
temperature. They still work, but
yeah.
So.
I didn't realize until just even a couple of weeks ago that they do a lot of crop pollination in Montana. So they have again, Greg would probably be better at explaining it, but they do different crops. They actually pollinate, not just, I mean, that's why we put the bees out here. They help us, but they also help, alfalfa and sandthorn, and there's all sorts of different crops that they help pollinate also.
So I probably have a leg up on you because we've done bees for so long. But I'm going to put you on the spot. So quality of honey, what are we looking for? When I go to the grocery store and I look at a jar of honey and it says local honey, am I looking for the dark huckleberry honey, or am I looking for nice, clear, almost can see through sweet clover and alfalfa honey?
I'm pretty partial to the clear stuff. I've tried some of the dark stuff, and I know some people like it, but I am very partial. And I will just put my little tidbit in. I am new to the honey, new to the bees, but I had shared my excitement with some of my friends and shared some of our honey, and my best friend growing up said, well, is there really a difference? And I gave her some of ours, and she called me a couple months later, and she said, you know what? There's absolutely a difference. I thought you were full of it. I did not know. And again, it's a local support, but I mean, flavor-wise, if you try local honey, it's a major, major difference.
And I don't think people believe. So when you see bees and somebody says, we have sweet clover honey, or we have alfalfa honey, or we have huckleberry honey. So a hive, that hive will only go after one type of flower. So it won't go out and pollinate multiple wildflowers and multiple crops. That honey, when you extract it, it's coming from one source.
And they taste different. Every one of them has their own little flavor, and it's pretty impressive.
It is. And these are awesome.
They really are. I encourage people every day. In fact, I met a lady yesterday to come in. If you're ever in Augusta, stop into the warehouse. It's a little hard to catch us when we're out working the bees, but during during like the honey extraction, which we're starting next week, come in and see the process of it. It's so incredible. I had no idea how much work goes into actually working bees. I had no idea. So, I mean, even individual hives and stuff, it's quite educational.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, and I tell people that in every realm. This is why I love 4-H, because I think that the kids get exposed to different realms that they wouldn't be exposed to normally. I got to go in eastern Montana to a potato plant. I had my ideas on what potatoes are. Going and watching what they actually do with the potatoes is such an incredible and eye-opening experience. And going out to a ranch and following the ranchers around if they have time to let you do it, obviously, but farming, ranching, seeing the work and the effort that goes into the food that you eat every day and the life that they live and how hard, everybody thinks it's such an easy thing.
I think they think that it magically appears on their table.
Right.
I don't know how many midnights and 1 o'clock and 2 o'clocks I've ended a night climbing out of a combine.
Yes.
Because you spend all day doing laps or doing back and forth, and it doesn't end, because then once you combine, then you got to go switch, you got to grab the baler and go out and bale.
Yes, and you're fighting weather, you're fighting bugs, there's so much that goes into it.
So the food just doesn't magically appear. Why can't we just go buy it at the store? Just buy it. Buy honey at the store.
I did that my whole life. I didn't know where honey came from. I didn't care.
So I challenge, just as a PSA, when you buy honey, look at the ingredients.
Yep. And where it comes from.
Yeah, where it comes from, but most commercial honey that you're going to buy is going to be mixed half and half with an oil
or a syrup.
And filled with sugar.
Yep.
And it's going to be mixed honey. So when large corporations buy honey, they buy, millions of gallons of honey, and then they mix it. And then they mix it with oils, or they mix it with syrup. And so you're getting half honey, half syrup, especially honey. And the health benefits of honey, if you're allergic or you have seasonal allergies, if you're eating honey from the area that you live in and the local beekeepers, it alleviates some of those allergies.
And I can attest to it because I have seasonal allergies, pretty significant. And bee stings are really not that bad either.
Put a little bit of honey on it.
Yeah, it helps. And I've had severe allergies my entire life, and they've been significantly better.
So I was always allergic to Timothy, but all of our bees always were sweet clover, and
Yeah.
I was like, can't we get them to pollinate? No,
Timothy. It's quite impressive. And again, I mean, back to the 4-H, like every aspect of it, I think if you dig a little deeper into what these different people are doing and get a little education, it's pretty amazing.
So your food doesn't show up magically. It wasn't created at the store. It took hard work. Some farmer, some rancher, some 4-H kid somewhere who learned husbandry, who learned how the economy of farming.
And if we don't promote this type of a business, it's going to go away. And that's what Montana's...
Do you think AI can take over?
Sadly, probably. I don't want it to, but I fight for my farmers and ranchers because I know how hard of a lifestyle it is to live, and I think it's a lot easier to walk away and go into something like AI where, you make...
Well, who's going to make the food?
Right.
AI's not going to drive that tractor.
Absolutely. So, it's trying to.
It's trying to.
But you see the downsides to it, and it's such a wholesome, not an environment, but I just think that part of it's our culture, it's Montana's culture, it's Montana's heritage, it's our history. We don't want to lose it, and these kids and these families work so hard, and to see it dwindle is pretty heartbreaking.
All right, so I'll rake you across the coals. I'm the candidate. You can ask whatever question you want.
I'm so intimidated about being in front of a camera. I don't even know what to ask. This is where your brother would be better. But
I didn't put him on here for a reason.
He'd be really good at asking a lot of questions. I know your values, and I know that you support families and you support our economy, and we stand by you and behind you 100%.
All right. So no hard questions?
Not yet. Next podcast, I will have some questions.
Yeah, you're going to rush right down here to get on another podcast. All right, I'm going to let Erin get off scot-free so that she can...
Today I will.
All right.
I will do it again, but not today.
Thank you for listening to our live podcast. We're at the fair. If you would like to come down, we still have a few hours. It's only 6 o'clock. The fair's open till 2200. So if you can get down here and you want to have a conversation with the candidate, I think we have all of our candidates here right now.
Please come visit.
Come ask to sit down and talk with the candidate if you want to ask questions or get your questions answered. Or you just want to come down and talk about beekeeping or 4-H.
4-H. Steers. Mark
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.